But the problem is that I genuinely like we have been a part of this play for like almost 2 years now. Almost 2 years. Most of us have been a part of this play for 2 years. And to not recognize what SSR does over a 2 year span, 2 year span means you have been going through this entire process with your eyes closed. Eyes closed, because there's no way you can sit there and tell me SSR means nothing to somebody who's been a part of this for 2 years and you don't see what happens when SSR trips. Like it is ridiculous. It is idiotic to suggest that you don't see something happening. It's just insanity to me. Like are you feeling your way through this? Is that what you're doing? Don't feel your way through something. See the numbers, see what's happening. There's open your eyes. This stuff is hitting you like a brick wall in the face. And if you refuse to look at the numbers and make sense of what it is that you're seeing, then you're truly just here for a roller coaster ride. You don't really care. I feel like you need to care though. You know, Captain Awesome, I think CBDC comes after. And I think Peter said it right. I think CBD comes after the any kind of MOAS possibility. I think you're going to be seeing people pull money out of the markets, and that's when you would see the reset occur. Olin says, agreed, Casey. It's stupid if you've been in this market just 3 months, you should know. I mean, it is. Like, legitimately, you've been here for 2 stinking years and you don't see what SSR does every single time it hits it, and then it bounces right off of it every single stinking time. And it's like, what? You don't recognize that it does something. how is how is it possible? Just I have a big tramp. Oh, you're talking about the actual big tramp. Yes, that's the plan. I can't imagine. Can you imagine me doing this for like 2 years, Mac and B, sitting in this big tramp like this, and then not getting one, and like showing up someplace like for a meet and greet or someplace where we like get together and we all get to meet up, and you don't see me pull up in this big tramp? How how deflating would that be? Like to see me pulling up in like something else other than this. So yeah, it's gonna get ugly before it gets pretty for us. That's for sure. Nothing changes though, guys. Nothing changes anything about what it is that we're doing here. And as I close the show, as I close the live stream last night, I mentioned to you guys, here's the problem. Here's the problem with shorting a stock where people refuse to leave and that they are committed to only buying. Here's the problem. All y'all who got in at some of the higher prices, right? 40, 50, $60. When Ape or AMC gets down far enough, whichever one it is that you choose to buy, you now have an opportunity to greatly reduce your position, your average price. Greatly reduce. For example, let's just say, and I'm just going to throw out some round numbers here, but let's just say that you bought 1,000 shares at $40. You'd have invested $40,000 into this, correct? So this is just an example. When they push this down to, let's just say, $2 for Ape, right? $2 per Ape, that same thousand shares that you bought is only going to cost you $2,000 to double down on. That's it. That's all it would cost you to double down. It's $2,000. What cost you originally 40,000 to get in for 1,000 shares will only cost you $2,000 to double down on. The idea is the lower that they take this, the more risk they run of so many people buying shares, that it will absolutely destroy them. It will absolutely destroy them. I promise you guys, the lower this gets, the more it's hurting them. I promise you. It is so difficult because they're going to see more and more volume coming in, and it's going to get harder and harder and harder and harder for them to continue to keep dropping the price and continue to do what it is that they do on a daily basis to keep the price low. It will cost them dearly, absolutely dearly. I can't even begin to express to you how painful that's going to feel for them. And the reason that I say this is because Everybody seems to think that, they're just making money as the price goes down, as the price goes down. We know that there's open synthetic shares that are out there, right? Every single share that they hold is costing them money to hold those positions so long as they haven't closed them. They are going to pay through the nose on this. Absolutely pay through the nose to try and keep the price down, because they're going to have to continue to try and lend, and it's getting harder and harder. The collateral is drying up everywhere. Even Bitcoin, even though it hasn't dropped yet, and it's at the very edge of my outside box here. Let's see right here. We're at the very edge of my box for the breakdown on this. We have not had a single candle yet underneath the red. Looks like I'm going to be wrong on my box here, because there's no way that this next candle can be underneath it. So I'm going to be off of my box by, I don't know how much it's going to be, but you can almost guarantee collateral is going to be needed over this after today. After today is done, if today ends up keep on going down like it is, there's going to be some collateral that's needed over the weekend. So just watch. This is the crazy part. This is the crazy part. $516 million is all it would be needed at a dollar. And you divide that up by 400 people, it would only cost, or 4 million people. You divide that up by 4 million people, that's $125. That's all it's going to take us to buy. If they want to knock this down to $1, it's only going to take us $125 a person to buy the entire float. That's it. We got 4 million people in here that they're up against. It's going to cost us at a dollar a share. If that's what they want to push this down to, at a dollar a share, we can buy the entire float for $125 a person. That's it. It's going to be really, really super painful. But I don't like to just follow everybody, because I really am very cautious about making sure that I know who's inside our circle. And the reason for that is that, for example, like yesterday, I had was it yesterday or 2 days ago? It might have been yeah, it might have been 2 days ago. 2 days ago, I had a floor trader from a prestigious bank follow me on Twitter, and it was very odd. Like, I was like, why in the world would this floor trader from this company be following me? Ironically, I hadn't said anything, and I have a group that I'm following that does a lot of talking in the background. And they said that that particular bank, had a posting for a social media, somebody who could basically take the social media sentiment and things like, things that were being said within social media, and kind of like help them out with understanding some of the meaning behind it. So that was very odd, that would happen. And so I reached out to the person, said, "Hey, the usual message I give to people who I don't trust." And I said, do I know? Hey there, do I know you? I was just kind of curious how I might know you. And immediately after I sent that message, I got an instant block. That person followed me, then blocked me, and I'm sitting there going like, "Are you just trying to follow me because you want to see what it is that we're saying? And if so, I'm not going to give that to you." I'm not gonna let people into our circle and just listen to what it is that we're saying just because they want to hear it. So I got to be careful. Believe it or not, Joe Ponce, we actually do have a group of people who are kind of acting as like ape police, and they work very diligently in the background. Nobody really knows who they are. But trust me, there are people who are working on it, and we search out a lot of people, and we try to understand and make the links between people so that we understand there's a very huge war that is going on in the background that you guys don't even know anything about. There's this massive war that's happening, a psychological warfare that's happening in the background of social media. And let me tell you, man, we are making so many connections and links to people, and we're watching. They're watching us, but we're watching back. And I promise you, there's some warfare going on. There's definitely some warfare going on. So, but I will tell you guys, a lot of people were asking some more questions about that. That particular. I'll tell you as soon as we're done with our investigation. I'll tell you guys exactly who sent me the message. Point out their account. I'm actually planning on eventually probably calling the actual floor trader from that bank and verifying that they were the person who followed me, and it's not just an account that's spoofing their person, and you know, we'll get to the bottom of it. When we do get to the bottom of it, I'll let you guys know the results.